Welcome to CF 2.0 Geek Out, where we deep dive into ClickFunnels 2.0 and how to use it to grow your funnel building business.
Hey, I'm Susan.
And I'm Andrea.
Come along with us as we learn and discover how to use the new ClickFunnels and how to make it bend to our will. Hello, everybody.
Hi.
Welcome to CF 2.0 Geek Out. I'm Susan. That's Andrea. That's Dan over here. Dan Havey's joining us again today because we're gonna dive further into Russell Brunson's Funnel Hub, which we started looking at last week. So if you missed that, you can go watch that. We focused on some things we noticed, some features that are going to be 2.0 specific. And today we're going to talk about the Content Hub that is linked on Russell's Funnel Hub. So, Dan, when you're ready, you can share your screen.
Going into the much heated controversy of will it actually replace WordPress for all the WordPress lovers out there?
Will it blend? That's what we're worried about here.
That's the question, right? Like all the WordPress users are like, well, can I blog on it?
Yeah, exactly.
No, not right now. You can't, but you will soon with 2.0. So, yeah, so we were just noticing.
Trying to get back to the homepage.
Yeah, you're good. I noticed on the Content Hub, so when you click on it, it's not just going straight to a blog. It is going to where you can choose what, it's a hub. He's calling it a Content Hub.
Yep.
It is, okay, choose how you want to consume this information, basically, is we have options. We have, here's subscribe to my podcast, subscribe to the blog, or subscribe to the vlog, which is the YouTube channel, right? Am I right on that?
Good question. I don't know.
I don't know what the,
well,
the blog, or is it hosted in
we'll click
2.0
on it and
maybe?
see where it takes
Which
us
is right, because like Russell's always, you either are writing about it, it's audio or it's video, right? Like those are the three content routes that he chooses.
Yeah, so it looks like they're hosted on YouTube right now and just embedded.
So the vlog. So clicking on the vlog here, it took me to another page here. It's videos, and you can see videos up here in the URL. And then we got our different channels, so documentaries, etc. Let's go to what do we want here? Marketing Quickies show. I've never seen that one.
Which is really interesting, right? This is a really interesting strategic play because Russell's not at the point where he needs to he has his whole funnel flicks thing, right? Like his own version of Netflix. And so it's interesting to me at the top of that vlog that he highlighted the YouTube channel for people to go to, but he's still keeping people in his world here with his funnel flick stuff, which is strategically, I think, I'd love to have been in that conversation, especially as he's trying to reach the masses, right? It would be a better play to go to YouTube than to keep them in his world, but it's interesting.
So, sorry, I was distracted. Shout out to Ben Moot. He's watching. Yeah. I was distracted replying to him. So when you do click on those channels, where is it taking you to?
Well, right now it's taking me to where they don't have content yet.
Okay, so they're not quite
obviously, as we know, they're still building all this. I mean, there's a lot of stuff in here that was not in here last week. And in the code, there's a bunch of stuff that was not in here last week. So as we've been saying every single week, they're continuing to work on this, continuing to build it out before they give it to all of us. And an example of this week, Andrea and I were building a membership site. And what I'm doing is I have my own version of the membership site in my ClickFunnels account. I build out the entire thing, and then I share it over to Andrea to put it into the customer's account. Well, I keep an exact duplicate of those two at all times. So when Andrea comes along, which she does every 2 minutes, and says, can you fix this or change this or write different code for this? I do it in my account. And then when I know it's working, I take that code and I put it into the customer's account. And that's exactly the same thing that ClickFunnels is facing right now, is that they can't release everything out into the wild, out to the public, because they're going to have two versions of it. And so then in order to get this version that's in the customer's face over here, working like the one over here where you made the fixes, you got to move it over. And it's just a lot more work for them than to just keep it away from us until it's really close to ready to go.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Okay, so the vlog buttons are not connected.
Sorry,
go ahead. So go ahead, Andrea.
Before we go, but what this tells me, the fact that they redirected into internally, what this tells me is that there's going to be probably some kind of indexing system on videos, like there is indexing on blog content, right? Which is really interesting to me because we have this ongoing issue whenever we build a membership area that's supposed to be for what I call the reference library, right? Where these are really good for continuity or really good as a lead gen technique where like, here's a bunch of my stuff, but then there's no clear path to mastery because it's like somebody coming into a library, they have their own keyword that they're coming in and they have to find something. And the search feature in ClickFunnels sucks. Like it's horrible, right? And so what's so fascinating to me, and I would love to like dive deeper into how much we can use this indexing functionality. And Dan, I don't know if you can read the tea leaves of the code to see, but this indexing capability could be a game changer on like we've tried Searchy, right? As like our backup to try to index video content. And that didn't solve like the text content. But anyway, so the indexing capability could be a game changer on the reference library learning experience in my mind.
Yeah. That's good.
Well,
good
what
point.
I see it as is with all the internal linking here, as we had talked about before, about building silos in old style WordPress sites and all that, is that's exactly what they're doing here. Is now everything that this so guides or the blog or whatever, anything this links to, is then we're creating all this internal linking. And that's why, so you click on, so we clicked on vlog up here. Let's try something else. Let's try a podcast. Let's see where this takes us to. And so we click on this and then we come here and we have 4 different podcasts. And so we're going to click on this again. And so again, we're creating all these internal links inside of here of all this content connecting together. And then that again is really good for SEO, is all that internal linking, because obviously the spiders come in here and they read this content right here and they know what's in the video, especially if it's on YouTube. And you don't think that they're not putting that all together. Of course they are. And so again, from an SEO play, that definitely helps.
Yeah.
So let's see where this one takes us to. So like I said, at this point here, they built out, none of this stuff I don't think existed last week. So they're getting this built out. They just haven't got the next step built out yet where they got all the content in here yet.
Yeah. Yeah.
Awesome. Okay. So that was okay. So we're back to the Content Hub page. And then we've got the options of how do you want to consume this content? And then below that, we're looking at recent posts. And this is going to be, are we seeing blog posts right here?
Yeah, these all should be
these are just blog posts. It's interesting because the first on the right column there, before you clicked, the first section on the right column was, it's that menu is podcasts, blog categories, funnelhacker.tv. So that's why I was questioning it. I was like, it says recent posts and the first thing on that menu is podcast. So I was a little bit like, is this blog post? So it's, keep it in mind when you're designing your menu.
Look at that. What do you think? The emoticons. Okay. So so interestingly, first of all, they're using a 6-point Likert scale, which is actually not good. So anybody on the ClickFunnels UX team, like, let's talk, because 6-point scales is not what you want.
There's a lot of options there to choose from. Is that what you're talking about?
And I mean, basically they're forcing a dichotomy, right? So like it's yes, no, but I mean, so originally the emoticon came from actually Microsoft, user experience world. They were the first ones, I think, that like put on, hey, can we just get a single question in context in order to get reliable data on the user experience? And they started using this and playing around with this emoticon, but it was only 3. There was 3 choices, right? Having 6 choices is not recommended. A 6-point Likert scale is not recommended when you're doing social science research, but at a minimum, but aside from the practice, the fact that they're there is super interesting to me. That also opens up the door in terms of, so like I have a lot of systems where we're trying to decipher user experience, right? So if somebody is actually on my blog and able to give me feedback, like if you guys use Hotjar, for instance, right? There's the intercept feedback mechanism where you can pop something up inside of a user experience flow in order to get feedback in that moment in order to troubleshoot, right? So what's so interesting to me again is like what's the extent to which we can use this feature, and what does the data look on the back end for us to improve experience? It's interesting to me that this feature's there. It cool opens up potentially a world of possibilities.
It's cool to see that. And then obviously, I mean, we can see right in front of us that the they're using Discus. Is that how you say that? Discus. And then so we've got the option to have basically a forum underneath of your blog. We've got a discussion area where you're just connected to your account, and you see Dan Havey's name on there. You're already logged in somewhere, so you've got a whole menu to play with.
Yeah.
Your profile. So that's the Discus, though.
But I have a question.
Susan. Or discuss. I'm saying that wrong. It's discuss.
Yeah. I have no idea.
Yeah. Like, I know that's not right.
Yeah, no, it's discuss. But okay, so here's the thing that this boils up for me. So all of the service providers that may be listening to this and wanting to get on the ClickFunnels bandwagon, opens up a nightmare for community management, right? Because now it's like you're going to have multiple comments across multiple blogs. You could, in Discuss, I'm sure, go and look at the cumulative area of it. But you need somebody then, I mean, to me, in order to open this up, it's like you need somebody to manage it, or they need to give us some intelligent AI triggers. You know what I mean? And I don't know enough about Discuss. Maybe that's already in the platform, and then it's like, is that a separate bill that we have to pay, like an add-on bill, or is that out of the box ClickFunnels?
Yeah. Interesting points. Dan.
I have no idea.
I know you don't have the answer to that, but any thoughts on what we're seeing so far?
Well, the other thing on this page is, so we have the video at the top, and of course, this then creates a link to YouTube. And then you have what appears to be, well, it says the answer. So, this is Ask Russell Anything. So up here, they got a question, and then down here at the bottom, they have the answer. So you got all the text in there as well. So again, we're getting closer to what a blog would be, because we have all the internal linking, we have all the text in there, we have everything that is needed for Google's spiders to be able to come and read all this content. So, and again, that's always a problem with like an opt-in page in ClickFunnels. People are like, well, how come this isn't getting indexed? Well, there's no text on the page. Right. There's no links to the page. There's no nothing. There's no internal linking. There's no external linking, really, except to the next page in your funnel. And there's no text on the page. So there's nothing to be indexed. Here, we're going to have pages and pages and hundreds of bits of content, and that all can be indexed now, just like a blog. And like I said in last week's show, the only thing that makes WordPress different than regular websites is the WP loop. And all that does is it tells on your homepage, it tells it which order you want your blogs listed in. Otherwise, they're pages just like these are pages.
I have a question, Dan.
Yeah.
Okay. So I love that ClickFunnels is doing this. And I also it throws me into a little bit of a strategic dilemma. And the dilemma is this. I still hold true, and I know I sound like I'm on my soapbox again. I still hold true that from a pure SEO play, putting your blog content on Medium has a better chance of viewership with 10 million new users every single month, and them doing everything they can to get your stuff in front of eyeballs versus a solo team of one SEO in a WordPress site. But now, and part of my strategy on that is that if you're using a ClickFunnels strategy, then a Medium embed is better. But now ClickFunnels has really just muddied the water on my messaging, you know what I mean? In terms of like, well, you do have a blog and you can do it, and it will increase your SEO towards your ClickFunnels potentially. But I still think that the Medium SEO play is better. Now you can always do
my question would be in Medium, can you put links to your ClickFunnels site?
Even better than that, they actually allow you to do a canonical link for the place of origin. So like you could publish it here and then also publish it in Medium. The only downside of that is that public magazines and publication collections in Medium are less likely to pick up your article if it's originally posted somewhere else.
Well, then you could originally post it on Medium and then post it here.
Yeah. And just post it in both places.
Yeah. I mean, why not? And if you can, so you got Medium, and you're saying there's a lot more eyeballs, a lot more traffic Google, Google already knows them, loves them, you know, spiders them all day long. So put your content there with links back here. You can link it to the article here. You can link it to your homepage. You can link it to your book selling page, you know, whatever. If you're talking about a specific product, you can link it straight to your funnel. If they allow for links, send them wherever you want. Because then again, if you put all this stuff into Medium, and so you got basically the same content, the same words in your Medium post as on here, and you put a link in there, which again, keyword rich link, put that in there, pointing back to this article or pointing back to your blog. Again, Google is going to associate all those key phrases in that Medium article with whatever you're pointing to.
Got it. So to summarize, what I'm hearing is Medium is still your primary source. That is the canonical link, the original origin, but then you caught all of the stuff that you put in Medium, you also put in here with links from Medium back into like the parent relationship inside the blog.
Yeah, I would, if you believe, and I think it's probably true, that Medium is going to get a lot more traffic, especially immediately. I mean, we're not Russell Brunson.
Yeah. Right.
So, with Medium, you're going to get more eyeballs just purely because, as you say, they're promoting it for you. Right. And there's already people going there and it's already being spidered. So just, put your link there over to here, wherever you want, into here. Or like I said, even just point it to your opt-in page on your funnel.
Okay. All right.
I have a follow-up question for Andrea or Dan. Do you think it matters on what the intent of your blog is? And I say this just, I don't have an answer to this. I'm just trying to think this through. So like, okay, if I'm going into making a blog with the intent of like, okay, I want to tackle SEO. I want to go and get organic traffic using my blog. That's my intent. And I hear like, okay, so if that's my intent, then Medium would probably be the best place to start for that. If I'm like, I don't really care about the strategy of SEO and organic traffic, I just want to like put content on here as like another place for my customers to like come and consume some stuff from me, or my warm audience to come and consume stuff from me. That's not I'm not having like the strategy of going out and getting organic traffic and using SEO, but would it still be worth my time? If I'm putting the effort into doing that anyway, then I might as well use the best way to get organic traffic. Do you know what I'm saying? Yeah. Like if I'm going to be doing it anyway, even if it's not my full purpose of doing it, would it be like, is there ever a time when you'd be like, okay, just use the ClickFunnels one?
The only time I could think of is like, just like you said, Susan, if you have a different traffic strategy and it's not dependent upon the content that you're creating for your blog, and which then any SEO boost would help, right? Mm-hmm. Then, and it's maybe like in a case where it's really just to establish authority, or maybe it's really just articles for paying members, you know? So like, and if somebody just happens to stumble upon it, great, you know? So yeah, to your point, I think the main reason why the Medium comes into play is if you are heavy trying to boost awareness through organic methods, that's where it comes in.
Can we just highlight what you just said? Content for paying members, like that. I was just like, oh my gosh, like that's such a great idea. If you have a membership and you've been putting stuff into a membership area, but some of what you're giving them is more suited for a blog style than a membership area, like you could totally have a private paying members only blog.
Hopefully that's what I mean. Like, yeah. So that to me is like a reference library, right? It doesn't matter if it's a blog or a vlog or whatever, right? It's like the ability to index content in a contained area that is a pay to play, right? Right now, ClickFunnels doesn't offer that, but if the technology is there here in order to index your content, why not put it behind a paid wall? You know what I mean? Instead of membership area. And now you have a legit reference library, learning experience, or whatever you want to call it. But yeah, it's the indexability.
Yeah. So not just a free, out there in the public eye, you know, how we think of blogs, linked on your website or your funnel hub, but actually like the ability to drop our blog into a membership area, because membership areas are just pages. So why not? Like,
yeah,
that
right,
could
Dan,
be
tell
possible.
us for crazy. Yeah, or Dan, tell us.
Well, I don't know if you're going to be able to put the blog stuff necessarily in a membership area, but we'll see that when it comes along. But if I recall, when they originally started talking about the blogs and some of the original stuff I saw, there was the ability to have people have to log in order to see the content. So they were originally thinking, I do believe, about creating content that was protected. Now, this is not a new concept.
No.
I originally saw this 10 plus years ago. Wishlist Member did this.
Oh, yeah.
And that was a WordPress plugin then. And you could not only take certain blog posts or any content, pages, whatever, and make them members only, paid members only, but you could do it at like halfway down through the middle of a post. You could put in a tag there, or whatever, I mean, short code in there that would say, okay, everything below this is for paid members only. And so then if you weren't a paid member, there was a box there. If you weren't logged in, box would pop up, say, log in, go here, buy it, whatever it would say. So that technology has been around for a very long time. And if you guys don't know, Stu McLaren was one of the founding members of Wishlist Member.
Yeah.
And, Russell and Stu and him, they're pretty good.
Yeah.
So, plus, I mean, like I said, it's 10-year-old technology. So can they put it in here? Yeah, without a doubt. Will they? Who knows?
Right.
We'll see. But that would be cool, again, to have the same ability on blog posts or even partial parts of blog posts that we would have inside of a membership area. I mean, just about every blog I go to now is got some sort of paywall. And you can read like the first paragraph. And then after that, it says, oh, yeah, the rest of this is for members only. So, yeah, I mean, it's very doable.
Cool.
That's awesome.
I love it.
That to me is like a game changer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now the other thing, Andrea, as we were talking about this, I started thinking, because, we're talking about internal linking and all that and putting other stuff. So think in terms of, you want to put your Instagram feed in here. What about using something like Elf Sites on top of that? Putting the Elf Sites in here on either a page or even embedding it right into a post.
Yeah.
I mean, that goes.
That's what I'm thinking, right? Elf Sites. That's the name. Was the name?
Yeah,
of
Elf Sites.
Yeah.
Feeds. Yeah. Okay.
So if you don't know what Elf Site is, that's the one where there's just all kinds of different ways, like it's integrations basically, right? For your
widgets.
websites and stuff. Yeah, little widgets.
Yeah.
I was just thinking like, how Facebook works, in that their entire goal is to get people to open up Facebook and keep people on Facebook. They don't want people leaving, right? That they want them there. They want them on there all day long. It's kind of like a one-stop place for people to consume all your content, is what that could turn into, Dan, of like embedding your social media into your funnel hub or your content hub. And it's like, people just have to remember to go to one place if they want to look for what you're up to.
Yeah.
Right. And then they can dive in other places. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, basically it was an old school RSS feed is what it really is.
Yeah.
And so you put in this widget, and so you'd have your screen, and let's say you had it hooked up to your Instagram, you could have it hooked up to your, your YouTube, anything you want. And then you can just scroll through all the different videos and you click on it and the video plays right there on the page. It doesn't take you away, does it?
No, that's the one difference with Elf Sites. It does take you to the platform. All that functionality you just said it has, except for when you actually click on it, it doesn't pop up on page. It redirects to platform.
Okay.
But who knows? I haven't looked at it for a year, so I don't even remember.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then
it would be nice if it could play right on the page, but that would involve having a video player there and a lot of other stuff. So
yeah.
Okay.
Yawning.
Yeah, sorry.
And so right now we see like they're still embedding videos from YouTube onto these pages, but we know that they have plans to have the video hosting within 2.0. And that's been one of the big things about YouTube. A lot of people use YouTube because it's free. You don't have to pay for it, but you do have the, like, I don't know if you can you click on his video that he had up there? I know one of the big problems is that, like, at the end, I don't know if you can turn it off. At the end of the video, can you just skip to like the very end of the video?
I did find a way with a client that you could, but it's not like this thing always happens.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it kind of distracts them.
You can turn
from
this
what...
off too, I'm pretty sure.
Okay. Because either
but you can look it up.
It's either more videos from that person or it's like more videos from YouTube that are not even the same person.
Yeah, like it's their choice. Yeah.
And it's just a distraction. So that was kind of one of the things I was thinking of, is when we have the ability to just host directly in to 2.0, then that becomes no longer an issue. And then you basically have people right there consuming your content and not getting distracted by whatever else they're seeing getting advertised to them.
Mm-hmm.
Well, and one thing here I'm seeing is
yeah, you can't control it.
There's no controls on here.
They turned them off.
I was going to fast forward to the end to see what happened, but there's no controls on here. So, but again, I think, and it's been a while since I looked at this, but I'm pretty sure in that little snippet of code you can get from ClickFunnels or from YouTube, it will turn off the controls.
I haven't looked at it close enough, but
yeah, I'd have to look at that again.
Yeah. Do we have, I'm curious on if you go to his Funnel Flicks videos, are they using any of the new video interaction technology from the companies they acquired?
Funnel Flicks videos. Where did you see that?
Down below. Oh, if you go back to the hub, here,
I am on the hub.
I'm sorry, go back to the content hub main page.
This is the, is it on the vlog?
Oh, yes, vlog. Thank you.
Okay.
You want me to go to the vlog here? Is that what you say? Yes. Subscribe to vlog?
Yeah, I think so.
Or subscribe to, or this? No.
Here,
right
channels.
Here.
Okay.
Yeah. Click on one of those.
Yeah, I did that before, and there wasn't any content in here yet.
Oh, and are those ones just their thumbnails? I'm guessing. Okay.
But what I'm wondering here, and let's check this out.
I wonder if you can go to the Funnel Hacker TV links. Oh no, I'm clicking on those. Nothing happens.
Yeah, they don't have it just doesn't seem like they're linked yet to anything.
Yeah.
I was just wondering if this was...
Oh, and I broke it.
What'd you break?
If you just start clicking around on that navigation schema, it'll break.
Oh, on this navigation over here?
Yeah.
Well, like I said, they're still working on it. But what I was wondering is if this was universal, that or the... Oh, it is. Let me see. No, that's this universal section up top there. I was wondering if this is universal, so you didn't have to put it in every single time. But
I wonder if that is blog, like in the blog. Like I'm imagining for putting in your blog content, there's going to be a specific area in your backend, and I wonder if there's almost like a menu builder that's specific for the blog, kind of like how it works in WordPress, right? Where you've got your menu, your navigation builder that you just set up once. So maybe it's like, it's not universal, but it kind of is. Like, it's not a universal element, but it's going to, just the way that you set it up in the settings is going to make it show up that way in all of your blog pages specifically.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. When they originally showed it at Funnel Hacking Live, it basically was a WordPress clone. The editor, everything basically looked exactly like WordPress, but Russell did make a comment one day about, he saw that and he goes, well, I don't want to be WordPress. I want people to be able to use the ClickFunnels editor to be able to build out these pages, to be able to build out their blog posts. And so what's it going to look like now? We have no idea. Yeah, we got the ClickFunnels editor. Give it to us so that we can use it to build our blog posts with it.
Right.
Because then you can make your blog post look like anything you want, including a sales page.
Yeah. I got to say, just a little side note shout out is that even as big as ClickFunnels is, I mean, the fact that they released it with a lot of dead links, broken stuff, non-content, I mean, way to go in terms of modeling what you preach of launch in perfectly and just get it out there. I don't know that I would have that. I don't know that I would have that courage, to be honest.
Well, it's also a good way to test.
What's that?
It's a good way to test. So you put that out to the public. You put out 3 or 4 pages to the public, and you let people start clicking on things and see what breaks. I mean, for all we know,
there's probably a lot of people in here. Do you think there's a lot of traffic on this
I don't know. We're here.
They don't market marketing secrets. Like a lot of times when when I'm describing hubs to people and I pull up marketing secrets, people have no idea that that's actually a thing, right? Like they don't drive any traffic to it. It's 100%, I think, just SEO organic stumble upon.
You know,
how did we all discover it?
If you actually look up Russell Brunson, and this could be, I need to probably go into an incognito mode to run a more accurate test, but this isn't the first thing that pops up. His old one, the russellbrunson.com one, comes up. Like it's
that would make sense.
Ways down before you actually get to this page.
Well, I was going to,
which again proves my point in terms of the SEO. But
it's new too. Doesn't it take some time?
Marketing Secrets isn't new.
Okay, what was at marketingsecrets.com before?
It was exactly like they've added a crap ton more content, but it was his hub. It was his hub, but it was on WordPress. That's the one that Mike and AJ did.
So when you are moving platforms though, does it take time for the spiders and like Google and everything to like update like and crawl and do all the things that needs to do and like bring it up higher in the searching and the ranks? Like doesn't that take some time? It's not like an immediate.
I don't know. It depends. It really is going to depend on the links. If you use exactly the same link to your old WordPress, you got a blog post over here. If you have the exact same link over to your new one, it shouldn't change anything. I mean, that should already exist in the whatever they call it, the Google's database. But if you change all your links, then everything has to be redone.
Which is
but again, Google basically searches the web instantaneously. So with the caffeine update 10 years ago, I mean, they basically index everything, like that. So as soon as you put it up, it's indexed, especially if you got a site that's been around for a while.
Okay, so as long as the links are still the same as they were, it should be as if nothing changed.
And there's a way, I forget, in WordPress that when you move stuff or change it or something, there's a way to forward those links, but they did take down the old site. So maybe not, because certainly the site might still be there, but it's not there with the same domain because they use the domain for the new one. So from that standpoint, it's gone.
Yeah.
Interesting. All right. Anything else that we have?
I think we could probably go on forever. Let's see. Does anybody
on the Content Hub specifically?
Yeah, we got Ivy, we got Ben. And if you guys are catching on the replay too, feel free to pop in questions. We're watching the comments.
Yeah, I think Dan, it'll be interesting to see, like you said, how are we going to be able to use the blog feature? Is it going to use the same editor that we all know and love? Or is it going to be totally a separate thing? Because I'm looking at this and I'm like, oh man, I would totally like change the formatting of that post and I would make it look a little bit different so that it's more readable. And I know that can be done anywhere, but you brought up the point of like, you can even turn your blog post into a sales page. So it'll be interesting to see what they give us.
And I think the things I'm most excited about in seeing this is the indexability features and how far that extends, the user experience emoticon feature and what's all included in that. And if they are using Discuss, if that's an add-on pay to play or if it's included, and what's the management system of that. Those three things, at least from the blog standpoint, are the things I am the most interested in as they release it.
Yeah, because I mean, those are things that, I mean, you can build a blog on 1.0 if you really wanted to, but you don't have those features that you just mentioned, Andrea. So those are going to be like the unique things that is of what you could do now and what you can't. I mean, just speaking in circles, but you know what I'm saying? Like you can go and build this if you want, but those are like what sets it aside from being just pages to being a blog are those features. And then of course, like you said, the searchability and the indexing and being able to actually have a search function that works, hopefully.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, the nice thing is, if nothing else, it's all going to be in-house in one bit of software where you can interlink between everything very easily. And what is the real best part about this blog inside of ClickFunnels? You don't have to use WordPress.
Yes. Continue to, yeah.
I mean, what did the guys from Tucson say at, or Russell said they had said at Funnel Hacking Live, is that we use WordPress because it's the least worst option.
Yeah.
And, you know, again, anybody who's used WordPress, I mean, there's some people who love it, and I love it too. I mean, I think it is great, but the dealing with the plugins and the hosting, and you spend all day long fixing your broken plugins that are conflicting with shit, and you don't have any time to do any marketing because you're building the site all day long.
Yep. And then the like getting stuck in between two plugin companies and a theme company. They're all pointing the finger at each other, and you're stuck in the middle.
And then one updates, or you have your theme update or your template or whatever, and then all of a sudden it's not working with stuff.
Yeah.
And that was always the biggest hassle. And sure, I mean, ClickFunnels 1.0, yeah, there's bugs every day, but I'll tell you, for me, it's still 10 times easier to work with than WordPress ever was.
Two hands up. Yes.
Yep. For sure.
And WordPress was good for its time, right? I really just think that we're moving into an era now where, you know, that whole like websites are dead concept, I think philosophically and strategically is true, right? I think it's not everything that people think it means, but yeah, I think we're moving into a new era of the funnel experience, you know, with everything really. But
yeah. All right.
Yeah. Well, the only last thing I was going to say is will be curious to see once we get in there is, can we, like something like this, build this as a universal section?
Yes.
And be able to just drop it in there. Now I can definitely see, because you know, you think section wide, but there's no reason why the little bit of CSS, turn that thing sideways, drop all the links down in a row like that, and just skinny it up and stick it in there. And but we'll see.
Yeah, that would be amazing.
Yeah, we'll see what happens once we get there.
Yeah, I hope so.
See what they give us first. Yeah. Awesome. Okay. We will wrap it up then. Thank you guys for joining us. We will be back. Oh wait, we will not be back next week.
We won't.
Andrea and I will be
that's right.
at an event.
Not.
So
you got your slumber party next week?
Not a slumber party.
Okay.
It is a magic in the sunroom.
We are attending an event. So we will not be live because I bet there's like zero time to even like get in, especially on that Friday. So, Dan, you can feel free to drop in if you want to, but you don't have to do that either. So guys, I'm
sure my voice will be working fine then. It's only been like this for a month and a half. So.
Yeah. You're almost back to like normal.
You sound pretty normal.
Almost.
Yeah.
Just cuts out a little bit. Okay. So we'll be back in 2 weeks for sure. And I'm sure we will either be diving more into what we haven't even covered for this funnel hub, or we might have something new that pops up that we can talk about. Yeah. Cross fingers.
Maybe.
Cross fingers.
Crossing our fingers. Because then that's going into March, right?
Yeah.
It's going into March.
Almost March already.
The magic end of quarter one.
All right. All right, everybody. Thanks for watching.